Welcome to a brand new episode of Andre Knows Everything. This is a show where we take one topic at a time and learn about it using the internet. Today, I am joined by my very first guest ever, the co-host of our podcast, The Walt Vault, one of my very best friends in the world. Please give it up for Miss Emily Ruiz.
Woo,
There you go.
I totally forgot that I have to use the microphone.
Yeah. You see how I put the trill on your last name there? Ruiz.
That's what I was gonna say. That was beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's better than most, most people like Ruiz. Quit it.
Ruiz.
Quit your shit.
Today we are talking about a very interesting topic, one that I don't really know much about at all, honestly. Today
I'm so excited.
We're talking about the Illuminati. Yeah, so this is going to be part of a conspiracy series that I do, I guess. It won't be every episode after that. You'll see the conspiracy series as we go along. But just to let you know, I'm going to look up all of the links for the most part to be like from reputable sources, but then we'll dive deeper into the internet to see what the crazies are really talking about.
Because really, that's what I care about are the crazies.
Yeah.
Because nobody really knows.
Exactly.
Oh, it's so good.
And I don't really know. So what do you know about the Illuminati? Just off top.
Not much. So I was, when Andre said he was doing a solo podcast, this was the first thing I said. I want to talk about the Illuminati because I feel like this is one of those things that everybody knows the word but don't really know much about it.
Right.
I mean, when I hear Illuminati, I think famous rich people, usually old white men, honestly, like let's be real. But I also think
powdered
like
wigs, money,
like, but also Freemasons.
Yes.
Like, does this go back to like the Knights Templar? Like,
right?
we did.
How far does it go back? Assassin's Creed? No.
Oh, that would be good. I mean, we watched National Treasure that one time, and it's like Holy Grail. Like, what is
they
involved
love to
in all
leave
this?
clues and stuff for whatever reason.
Do we need to go on a Nicolas Cage hunt? Like, I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't know, but I don't know very much. All I know is that the dollar bill has that little triangle with the eyeball.
Yeah.
And I always, some point in my past, my dad said that had to do with the Illuminati. So I was like,
And that
boom.
set Emily off.
That set me off on a lifetime
Forever.
of confusion and
yeah, so
conspiracies.
let's bring up some of the links that I looked up earlier. So when I typed in Illuminati symbols, these are what came up. Right? So the money, which
the money eyeball
is right here. It's called the Eye of Providence, apparently. Also, Beyonce's here. She's doing the Hova symbol, Hove, and apparently that's a part of the Illuminati as well. And then there's this guy over here. I don't know what any of this means right now.
So the cool symbol about that, I do know this. So are they looking at what we're looking at? Oh yeah, I forget how techie we are now. Okay, so what we're looking at here is a compass and a I can't remember what you call it, but it's like a builder's square or something like that. It has to do with people who what do you call it? Like when you're building, when you're masons, like they use the compass and the this is really ridiculous, right? They do that.
It's like a ruler, but it's got a 90-degree angle.
It has something to do with building.
Yes.
And then what's the G for? Wouldn't it be an I? Like Illuminati?
It's the G unit Illuminati. I don't know what the G is for.
G unit. What does G and G unit stand for?
I think it's gangster.
Oh, that makes sense. Like OG. Okay, I get it.
Yeah. Okay, so let's start with the Wikipedia article, as I often do. Okay, so the Illuminati is a name given to several groups, both real and fictitious. Historically, the name usually refers to the Bavarian Illuminati, an Enlightenment-era secret society founded on May 1st, 1776, in Bavaria, today part of Germany. Okay, so they just happen to be founded at the exact same time that America was founded. Actually, a couple months before America was. But
pretty dang close. We just lost Hamilton, so we know all about it.
I know, 1776. No. The society's goals were to oppose superstition, obscurantism, religious influence over public life, and abuses of state power. The order of the day, they wrote in their general statutes, is to put an end to the machinations of the purveyors of injustice, to control them without dominating them. Okay, so that's it. Sounds like they were supposed to be like the good guys. You know,
I mean, didn't you say the police were supposed to be the good guys in your first episode? Right. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Sometimes the people who say they're the good guys aren't necessarily the goodest of guys.
Well, you know what? Me and Andre are good guys, but we are also the goodest of guys.
Right. We're the goodest, and we're both guys.
We're not the goodest of guys. Oh, good God.
So let's skip through here a little bit.
See?
And then
Freemasons.
Where's say Freemasons?
Right there. Finding Freemasons expensive and not open to his idea. The dude founded his own society, which was to have a system of ranks or grades based on those in Freemasonry, but with his own agenda. So pretty much, he wasn't allowed in the original fraternity, so he was like, damn it, I'm making my own.
You know what? I'm starting my own group, and it's going to have a way cooler name than the Freemasons, all right?
Freemasons. Like, they were probably really Masons, and they were like, we're going to make this into a man thing, not just a profession thing.
All this masonry is expensive. We got to get some Freemasons up in here. Goodness
freaking
gracious.
Can't.
Okay, so this is like it's a lot longer than I even expected. This is all still just the history section of Illuminati. So hang on, let's read this. Modern Illuminati,
which is I think what we all think of when we I'm not thinking about the Enlightenment.
Several recent and present-day fraternal organizations claim to be descended from the original Bavarian Illuminati and openly use the name Illuminati. Some of these groups use a variation of the name, the Illuminati Order, in the name of their own organizations, while others, such as the Ordo Templi Orientis, have Illuminati as a level within their organization's hierarchy. However, there is no evidence that these present-day groups have any real connection to the historic order. They have not amassed significant political power or influence, and most, rather than trying to remain secret, promote unsubstantiated links to the Bavarian Illuminati as a means of attracting membership. So, that's kind of the allegiance to the bullshittery of the Illuminati. You know what I'm saying? That's,
and it's funny because I do remember my dad saying this too. He's like, they're everywhere, but they don't want you to know that they're everywhere.
Right.
I mean, is what a conspiracy person would say.
Exactly.
A conspirist?
Conspiracy theorist?
Okay, a conspirist.
A conspirator.
No, I like conspirist.
Okay.
Conspirator. That's exactly what they would say. Like, Andre is one, but he's not going to say he is one.
Nah, there ain't no Illuminati.
I don't know. But go ahead. Well,
okay, so just the thing is, like, if there is an Illuminati right now that is controlling absolutely everything, you would think that there would be less chit-chat about
for sure
Illuminati stuff, right? And how that they're controlling everything.
Okay, so here is a good example. And I think I've talked to Andre about this before just because I got excited about this whole freaking Illuminati thing. Mm-hmm. So a couple weeks ago, my husband and I, we watched a documentary on Netflix, and it was called The Family. And it was about political power mostly in the United States was mostly what they were talking about. They were talking about how, like, I think it's in Virginia. Yeah, that's it right there. I think they were talking about how, like, in a very special place, I think it's, like, near Arlington, they have, like, old houses that are, like, super wealthy, and they take young men who are interested in becoming political leaders in the future, and they teach them about a sect of Christianity that is very much I don't know how to say it. They are guided towards being elite white men who have power over the sheep who are, us.
The rest of us.
Mm-hmm. Right? So they take Christianity and they break it down into this book that's called Just Jesus, which sounds kind of cool to someone like me who is a believer. Like, okay, sounds great.
Just Jesus,
I'm
dog.
about it. Like, just Jesus, right? But they take it.
Cutting out all the fat. It's just Jesus.
That's exactly what they do.
Whoa.
They, like, parse the Bible into, like, these very specific things. And honestly, I think they're taking a lot of this stuff out of context to be like, you're like Jesus, and you are going to shepherd these sheep into a U.S. heaven.
Right.
And it gets real creepy because when you start looking at things through that lens and you believe it, and there's senators and, you know, all of these officials and all these people that you can link to have been in this like area of this organization, you're like, oh my God, if they all really believe this way, then they really don't care about most people.
Right.
They just care about the elite people who they think are going to get things done.
Exactly.
And it's really interesting because when you look at the way the world works.
You said this is a documentary?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So this is real. People are actually growing up believing this stuff and becoming successful in our political system.
So like maybe this is like modern day Illuminati.
See, this is what I believe to be the modern day real Illuminati. Is just these dudes who think that they're more powerful than everyone, and they're in like a secret club that also thinks it's more powerful than everyone. But I don't think that they actually are more powerful than everyone.
No.
You know? And they, as much as they try to get their machinations through Congress or whatever, that eventually the actual like cool people who are there shut that shit down for the most part.
For sure.
But I'm sure plenty of these people have been plenty successful.
Well, and it's funny too because the last episode, so this whole time, like my husband was like, the whole time, and I'm super eating it up like, oh my God, this is so cool. Mm-hmm. The last episode was about like the final shepherd or something, like something real creepy and ominous. Okay. And they were talking about how like Trump was, even though he like is so ridiculous, he fits into this mold so perfectly because he just doesn't give a shit about anybody. Right. So he really is trying to get across the agenda of this group and just doesn't even give a shit. Like, he can do it because he has enough dumb followers to just, like, do whatever he wants.
Right, he's super popular, and so that kind of, like, progresses the group's goals, but at the same time, he's, like, a huge dumbass, so they're all just like, Donald, come on, man, just chill a little bit.
Right? I don't know.
Right.
I mean, so it's interesting stuff that if there really is some kind of purveying push for at least an ideology.
Right.
I mean, regardless of if it's religious or not, I mean, if everybody's being fed the same Jonestown Kool-Aid, I mean, who gets the fallout?
Right.
Us.
Eventually, yeah. If enough of these dudes actually get in there and start making stuff happen, then stuff will happen, and
I don't
won't
know.
be
Some crazy shit. All right, let's go back to the Illuminati and see if any of this like goes together.
Yeah, exactly. So let's go to the Encyclopedia Britannica, just to get off of Wikipedia.
He kind of looks like a dickhead. Is that the guy who started it?
This is Weishaupt, Adam Weishaupt.
Kind of looks like Hamilton.
Yeah, but don't they all? You know, all these dudes look exactly the same. This could be any of them. This is Jefferson and Hamilton and Burr and George Washington.
I'm pretty sure Jefferson had a fro. I'm going to need him look just like Jimi Hendrix. They can switch
these wigs out so easy. Just a whop, whop. I'm Jefferson today. I'm Burr tomorrow.
I love it.
Okay.
Good Lord.
So let's see here. Who are some of the more notable members of Illuminati groups?
I better see Kanye.
This is a good question. So, yeah,
didn't they say that Kanye was in the Illuminati?
So we'll get to that in a minute. It says Adam Weishaupt of the Bavarian Illuminati targeted people of wealth and social importance when he was spreading his doctrine, and a number of notable figures are associated with the Bavarian movement. Literary giants Johann Wolfgang von Goethe and Johann Gottfried von Herder, as well as a number of dukes, were claimed as members of the Bavarian Society.
You're really good at this. You obviously watch a lot of like evil German movie, like, you know, where there's evil German doctor.
So funny. I was just thinking today about how much I love doing accents and stuff, and like saying names is kind of the only like PC way to do it now. Like anytime I see like a Japanese name or something, I go fully into a Japanese accent, and then I just jump right out of it as soon as the name is over.
Oh, good God. Go ahead.
Let's see. Though how much they were actually involved is disputed. Weishaupt's Illuminati were also believed to have included astronomer Johann Bode, writer and bookseller Friedrich Nicolai, philosopher Friedrich Jacobi. How come these dudes all are named Friedrich?
Jude, the next one.
Friedrich Leopold and Graf zu Stolberg. Are these people real? I don't believe it.
I think people are just making this shit up because it's ridiculous.
Right. Okay.
Am I supposed to know that these are like important dudes? I'm assuming they're important dudes.
I guess so. I mean, this was all 1776, so I mean, even if they were important dudes in Germany, they weren't necessarily important enough for us to learn about them.
That's true.
And because the Illuminati is keeping the information secret, they kept it out of the history books. I don't know.
I don't know.
I didn't read the books.
All I know is that, the U.S. only gives us the white truth anyway.
Right, yeah, so there's all kinds of stuff being left out.
I mean, I guess Germans are white, but I don't know.
But there's some, they badmouth them in the books too. Additionally, the British philosopher Francis Bacon was connected to the earlier Rosicrucian order, while Saint Ignatius of Loyola was associated with the Alumbrado movement. All right. Well,
oh gosh,
I don't know what any of that means.
I feel like during the Enlightenment, people probably just were like, "I'ma do me."
But basically, wealthy dudes and socialites were being recruited to come and join this Illuminati group, who would then go on to do what? What are they doing?
They're going to not control the government, but they're going to persuade it. I feel like is what they're trying to do.
Right. Right, and they were trying to fight injustice and whatnot.
But whose injustice? Because if they're wealthy, like, what injustices are they facing?
Right. Are they fighting for the people, or are they fighting for themselves?
For tax breaks.
Yeah. They're like, we gotta stop this. I can't keep paying these taxes.
And the weather? What the fuck?
This is nuts.
Am I allowed to cuss?
Yeah. You can cuss. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I'm not bleeping all these out. Which I do bleep on our podcast at the Walt Vault Pod. Go over there and follow us there.
And listen to the bleeps there.
Yes.
Stolberg.
Yeah, I as much as I want to focus on all this old timey stuff, I don't care that much. I kind of want to see what's happening now. So
yeah.
I had pulled up an article about
if it's on Forbes, I feel like it has to be true.
Okay, so this is from Complex. So this is hip-hop's Illuminati music obsession. So people keep saying that Kanye and Jay-Z and Beyonce and all these super-duper famous rappers and hip-hop artists are part of, like, a new hip-hop Illuminati. And I don't know what these dudes are supposed to be doing either.
And I don't know what that means, because now Kanye's super into Jesus, so what does that mean? Like,
right, yeah.
I'm confused.
And I don't believe that, like, Jay-Z controls all the money or anything like that, you know. Beyonce's poisoning the water system and shit like that. I don't buy it. So let's just see what they say here.
I mean,
on
she was
Complex.
in Destiny's Child. Come on. I can't.
Destiny's Child wouldn't do that to us.
That's what I'm saying.
They wouldn't put the fluoride in.
They started the coronavirus. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, it says Illuminati want my mind, soul, and my body. Secret society trying to keep their eye on me, but I'm gonna stay incognito in places they can't find me. I don't know whose lyric that is. The story of how the Illuminati first ended up in a rap song is a lot like your average Illuminati conspiracy. There's Byzantine plot and a shifting cast of somewhat famous characters with varying allegiances and interests. The genesis of the lyrics quoted above, from the 1955 remix to LL Cool J's Ashacha, involves a beef between Tupac and that song's featured artist, Keith Murray. Murray's subsequent beef with Mobb Deep's Prodigy, and a notable cameo from 15-year-old Foxy Brown. The particulars aren't especially important. What is important is that line from Prodigy that everyone remembers. It was the first time the Illuminati was mentioned prominently on wax, nestled in the middle of a needlessly complex series of beefs. Illuminati want my mind, soul, and my body. Oh, so maybe the hip-hop Illuminati is a response to, like, Get Out kind of style belief.
Yeah.
Where, like, the rich whites are trying to control black bodies, and so now we gotta...
I like it.
We gotta take it back. I kind of like that. Let me just skip through because there's always a whole bunch of story nonsense. Here we go. Today, the Illuminati theory is as relevant as ever, often used as a way to justify the continued success of artists Jay-Z, Beyonce, Eminem, Lady Gaga, Kanye West, who are accused of being puppets of this mysterious web of faceless figureheads. There's an endless stream of books, podcasts, and blogs examining the Illuminati's use of media and entertainment to carry out its agenda, and there are innumerable YouTube videos about the Illuminati with millions of views.
Saying what?
Bro, I don't know. It's
I'm so
funny.
angry.
I wonder if I can see now.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to yell at you. I'm yelling at the author.
No, exactly. But I went to an Illuminati an Illuminati Reddit page. This is r/Illuminati on Reddit. Illuminati is a place for open discussion about enlightenment. This sub is full of information that contributes to human enlightenment. Okay, that's interesting. But every single post is just a YouTube video, and they're all crazy long, and they're all like beliefs of secret societies revealed. And
so it's more of a conspiracy thing than it is anything else,
right? They're
talking about Aleister Crowley. Like, move along.
Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff here, but let's keep going with the rap style.
So do you know anything about this whole like? Oh no, where did it go? Oh, like faceless figureheads behind all of these artists. Like, what does that mean?
No, I guess from the way that this article is presenting it, it's like, so there is a secret Illuminati group, and they're using Beyonce, Jay-Z, and Eminem and Kanye to control the rest of us by pretending that Jay-Z and Beyonce are actually woke, but they're secretly infecting you with like
woke
doctrine
lyrics
and stuff. Yeah. And that eventually will...
They just want us all to be badasses and like strong queen bees. I don't like.
I mean, that's what it seems like, you know.
That doesn't make a lot of sense. I feel like I should be oppressed.
I woke up like this.
Like, shouldn't you be telling me I'm not a single lady? Get married, have kids, stay in the kitchen.
So let's keep reading.
It says,
the Illuminati is always somehow part of the conversation when a celebrity like Whitney Houston or more recently Prince passes away prematurely. Its signifiers, triangles, covered eyes, devil's horns, are consistently evoked in music videos and press photos. What's so perplexing about the Illuminati theory and its continued life is that it's just that, a theory. Despite the term's prominence in hip-hop and pop culture, there is no proof that the Illuminati still exists, and not a single artist has admitted to being affiliated with it. Then why, for more than 2 decades, has the existence of an unconfirmed secret society been consistently connected to the music industry? Why do the rumors refuse to go away?
FYI, these people are just doing drugs and shit. Like, let them die peacefully.
Can they?
I mean, they're already not dying peacefully. Like,
right.
Give them a little bit more.
Y'all leave Whitney alone. Please.
Come on.
She got enough cocaine in her system. You gotta throw on an Illuminati plot too.
Speaking of, not cocaine, but we watched a really good documentary on Netflix last night. It's called something about getting high, but it had to do with like LSD and acid. Something about taking a good trip.
Yes, I think it's like a good trip, the psychedelic experience.
It was really good. I think everyone should watch it because Carrie Fish is on there talking about how she just liked to do so much LSD.
Yes, I started watching that. She was like, I was on LSD all the time. One time I was on a beach, and there was things all happening in the water, and then I turned around, my boobs were out, and there was a bus of Japanese tourists, and they were all taking pictures, and I think I had just stopped being Princess Leia. Oops.
And there you go. Maybe that's what they're telling us to do, is just get high all the time so that we can be enlightened that way.
I guess so.
We can be enlightened as human bizzings.
You know, and as long as my job doesn't fire me for it, I'm down. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Hop to it.
Cure this depression,
pop
bitches.
It on my tongue. It says...
Pop it on my tongue.
This is still the Complex article. Secret societies have existed for centuries, and at one point, the Illuminati was real. In 1776, a German professor named Adam Weishaupt founded the Bavarian Illuminati, also known as the Order of the Illuminati, which is, I already know all this. Over the course of the next decade or so, he accrued an estimated 2,500 members, according to Michael Barkin's A Culture of Conspiracy. Though the Bavarian Illuminati disbanded in 1787 and seemingly remained inactive in the centuries that followed, rumors of its existence continued into the 20th century. They surged when President George H.W. Bush, in a 1991 speech marking the end of the Cold War, mentioned forming a new world order. Some interpreted the speech as a sign that the Illuminati had been reconstituted or had never left.
Are you fucking kidding me?
So that's it?
That's where my excitement has come from, is a Bush?
You nerds. Just been going through and looking at every single thing that anyone has ever said, and it's like, okay, he said New World Order. And 250 years ago, they also said New World Order. So that must mean that there is a connection and the Illuminati exists again.
Jesus Christ. Go back to the Freemasons. They actually still exist. This is ridiculous.
Okay, so let's get back to hip-hop.
Right? That's relevant.
I mean, it makes sense that hip-hop would gravitate towards such a conspiracy theory. The black community has plenty of reasons to be distrustful of the government. Many so-called conspiracies have, in time, turned out to be true. For example, In 1932, the U.S. Public Health Service conducted the Tuskegee, thank you, study of untreated syphilis in the Negro male, which involved 399 black men with syphilis. The study lasted 40 years before a special panel intervened. The afflicted men were never informed that they had syphilis and were never given penicillin. A $10 million out-of-court settlement followed in 1974.
40 years, people. I'm sorry I just screamed into your ears, but 40 freaking years. Are you serious?
Yeah. And I mean, stuff like that happened all the time. Like, there was another story that I had read about lobotomies. There was like basically one guy who started lobotomizing people, saying that it was a cure for like hysteria and stuff like that. And it basically, completely paralyzed or vegetabilized these people that he was giving the lobotomies to. And they didn't find out for like another 15 years of him lobotomizing people that it doesn't do anything, and that he basically just technically murdered all of these people.
He just kind of like a Ted Bundy without eating them.
Sticking ice picks in their eyes and stuff like that. And it was just because he was like a good talker. Anyway.
Well, so was Hitler, y'all. I mean,
right. That's kind of the thing about these secret societies and stuff like that, is that it only works if you fall for it. Well,
I will say I'm in a secret society. It's not actually secret, but there is secret parts of the society. So when you're in a fraternity or a sorority,
yes,
you're in a part of a secret society.
It's little hooded, candles lit.
Okay, first off, fuck
happenings and going ons.
Okay, I convinced somebody once very seriously that we were not allowed to go into the meeting yet when I had new members going into the sorority, but they couldn't go in because the ladies were chasing the lamb around. And they were like, "What do you mean you're chasing the lamb around? Like, to be slaughtered, duh." Oh. Right? And they
for the sacrifice.
Well,
of course.
Did I have to say that? I feel like what else would you do with the lamb?
It speaks for itself.
I don't know. So, long story short, there is a lot of secrecy until you're initiated into these things, like to know exactly what's happening, and there are things that should not be known.
Okay.
And I think that might be part of just the hysteria around it. Like, you get so excited because it's something you don't know and you don't get to know because you're not a part of it.
You're not part of the group.
So it's so exciting to be like, you do all this crazy stuff.
Yeah.
For example, my husband was in a fraternity, and I don't know what they do in their rituals. He doesn't know what we do in our rituals, but I heard a crazy story about what they might do, and I totally asked him, and he looked at me like I was insane. Emily, why would you think we do that? And I was like, but you wouldn't tell me if you did do it.
Right.
So you do it. So I'm going to go around and tell everybody you do some crazy butt stuff. Just kidding.
Just cause. You prove that you don't,
Prove it. You can't. Boom. You do it.
That's kind of interesting because, like, I almost think that, like, the idea of a secret society, and even from a fraternity on down, it kind of is like a little childish, honestly. Like, because when I was a kid, me and my friends, we all got Green Lantern rings, okay? Different color Green Lantern rings.
Who's the geek now?
All right. It wasn't even when I was a kid. It was like I was like 17. We got these rings.
So you got them and you didn't invite me to get a ring.
Correct.
Rude.
Right. You weren't part of the secret society, okay? We had the rings.
Start my own.
And we would put them on, and we would hang out and wear them. And whenever anyone asked us what we were doing, we would lie and say nothing. And you don't see anything, and these aren't Green Lantern rings. And it was just cool.
Do I know the other people that were in this?
Uh-huh.
Oh, good God!
I'll name them after the show. And it was just fun to have a secret.
Yeah. For sure.
And so I think that's kind of the entire point of some of these things. But the nefarious ones, like this one about the Negro male and the syphilis and the Illuminati trying to control everything, is kind of when they get out of hand, I suppose.
For sure.
Right?
Well, and I think that's where the secrecy becomes the problem. Like, number one, what are your aims? And number two, what do you do behind closed doors?
Right.
Because I will tell you 100%, I was never hazed. But there are organizations out there, Greek or otherwise, right, that haze people and pretty much can kill people with
nefarious paddles.
Right? Well, I still have my paddle. Boop. But
gross.
point being, but then again, so they might be doing that, but what are their aims? Are they helping people or are they controlling people? Because these types of things, in my mind, they're always controlling people.
Yeah. It's like they get together. They hire a musician and a steel worker and a scientist, and they're like, all right, how we create mind control.
Okay, well, if you're listening to this on a podcast, you can't see me, but I just see them all in a room like this. Raccoon fingering, right?
Yeah,
like
exactly, and
being just creeps.
Big creeps.
Being syphilis creeps. I mean, I feel like you have to be a creep to be doing this.
Syphilis
kind of shit.
infecting creeps.
What was the point of that study? Can you tell me? Do we know? I've heard of that study before, but I never knew like the point.
The study lasted 40 years
to
before
just
a special
let
family
poor
intervened.
black men. Do you die from syphilis?
I think you can.
Well,
yeah,
there
absolutely. It didn't say what the point of the study was. Probably just to
see how syphilis spread.
Test syphilis and figure it out without having to pay volunteers or whatever, and they just swoop on black dudes in 1932.
I hate people.
Yeah.
I'm moving on.
Let's see. It says, in another famous incident, the Church Committee, a U.S. Senate commission, confirmed that the FBI's COINTELPRO initiative carried out illegal operations to interfere with, spy on, and systematically disrupt the Black Panthers and many civil rights organizations. Right, yes. That's another big thing. Like, the FBI shot and killed Martin Luther King Jr. That's like a proven thing that they kept secret at the time. And that's not a secret society. It's the Federal Bureau of Investigation, an organized group of people who are tasked with keeping Americans safe. And
it's funny that you say that, though, because there's the same level of secrecy in those types of organizations that we're talking about in these other types of organizations. There's a camaraderie, there's a me and you, brotherhood or whatever you want to call it, that you're not going to break this, so we have to keep everybody safe. We have to do like major things to take out one individual to keep the rest safe.
Right.
Which, I mean, I think you talked about in the police episode too.
And like how many KKK members were also police officers, and how many still are. You know, it's all a big feedback loop of bad guys pretending to be good guys because they think that their bad guy stuff is good guy stuff.
We're actually good guys doing good stuff.
Right. Once again.
Good God.
We're the good guys.
The fact that we have to keep reminding you probably makes me seem like a not good guy.
I mean, I'm still kind of confused at this point about whether if Beyonce and Jay-Z are in the Illuminati, are they good guys or are they bad guys? Like,
or are they puppets?
Right.
Do they think
do they even know that they're in the Illuminati? You know?
Do they do you write your own music, or do you maybe they're being fed stuff through their TVs and stuff, and then
somebody's doing an Inception style mission,
subliminal messages,
and going okay, this is the Hove symbol. You're gonna put your hands like this, and that's gonna create.
And then you see triangles as the new pattern of the year instead of chevron.
Right.
And then everyone starts doing the sign.
And then that causes you to invest in some stuff that makes some other dude money or something like that. I don't really know what the end goal of any of this
I feel
really is.
Money and power are always the end goals,
right.
But I just don't see how it goes in here.
Yes, exactly. So I'm gonna keep reading this just so I can see if I can get a handle on this. It says, Rob Brotherton, a very fun last name, an adjunct assistant professor at Barnard College and author of Suspicious Minds, Why We Believe in Conspiracy Theories, explains that these real-life government conspiracies targeting black people planted the seeds for Illuminati theory's popularity today. Hip-hop served as this soapbox for people to talk about issues that were relevant to them, things like discrimination, poverty, the criminal justice system, which are often seemingly slanted against African Americans, said Brotherton, who chooses to be professionally agnostic about his belief in the Illuminati. It's a short leap to go from noticing some kind of injustice to thinking about whether there's something behind it. Hip-hop was just a good candidate to revive this myth.
Well, it's interesting that they say that because especially this was not written in light of what's going on right now.
Right.
But it's funny because now when you actually look at what's going on right now, and we really do not that people haven't been saying this forever. It's just that people are starting to pay attention again. Mm-hmm. That there is systematic issues that need to be fixed, and maybe there's not someone behind it, but there's a system created behind it.
Right. And maybe there are people who are
actively trying to keep
the system in place. Yes.
Because it benefits them with money and power.
Yes.
Probably.
Exactly. So that all makes perfect sense. But I think it's a lot more of like a systematic, hey, don't touch my money, rather than like a
Yeah. Raccoons in the corner.
All of the black people, mine. You know?
Stop.
But I mean, maybe there are a few of those dudes. I don't know.
At the tippy top?
At the tippity tip top.
Where are they, though? I want to know. I want to know who they are. Maybe the FBI can shoot them. I don't know.
I mean, maybe they're running the FBI. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, let's go on just a little bit here.
Shit's just crazy.
I know. So Prodigy, the rapper who first said the term Illuminati, he is quick to disassociate the term Illuminati from modern-day networks of secretive elites, which could go by any name but uphold similar maleficent beliefs. Oh, I've never seen somebody use maleficent.
Neither have
as
I.
Like a regular word before.
I thought it was a name.
Hang on.
I mean, I know it.
Comes the movie. Maleficent, causing harm or destruction, especially by supernatural means. All right, cool. Maleficent beliefs.
By
cool.
dragon beliefs.
By dragons and green magic and all kinds of stuff. He says, it extends beyond any singular group. There are many entities conspiring to manipulate the masses for their own benefit. It's not all the Illuminati doing this, he continues. It's a company trying to make a few millions of dollars, controlling people's senses, emotions, and shit like that. It's definitely happening. It's happening in hip-hop. It might not be as deep as people think. Sometimes the record company is driving sales up, making videos more sexual. They're just trying to make $1. Or sometimes it could be deep as you think. You never know. But you can't put everything in the same box. You got to really know how to separate facts from theory and fiction. You can't just blame everything on the fucking Illuminati.
Well, why'd you use the word Illuminati? You're the problem,
Come
bro.
on, Prodigy.
Jeez.
Tell me something, man.
He's like, I'm just out here trying to generalize, and y'all are just taking this way too seriously.
Yeah. Some stuff is just a company doing shitty stuff, and sometimes it's a deeper, more nefarious affair.
It must be nice to be able to say stuff like that. Like, you're right, but you're also wrong, but sometimes you're right.
Sometimes you're right, and sometimes you're not right. You know, that's just the way stuff goes. Hove! Identifying Illuminati symbols is the nuts and bolts of conspiracy theorists. They claim the puppets of the Illuminati tend to evoke a handful of recurring poses and images, such as the Eye of Horus, the Egyptian symbol for the all-seeing eye, featured in Katy Perry's video for Dark Horse, set in ancient Egypt. Another go-to is the pyramid. In Gematria, an Assyro-Babylonian Greek code tied to Judaism, its 3 sides represent the spirit realm, Jay-Z throwing up his signature rock sign. Wait, is this the rock? Or is this? I don't remember. A diamond made with your hands. Okay, yeah, that's the rock. It's one of the theorists' favorites. Then there's the number of the beast, which refers to 666, represented by making an OK symbol with your hand. Beyonce does this reference to her hometown of Houston. And don't forget devil horns, in which you make a clenched fist and stick out your index and pinky fingers. Both Eminem and Barack Obama have been photographed making this gesture. Now,
isn't this like
rock on?
Yeah, I mean, rock is
right. So I mean, like, yeah,
that's okay, like this, okay?
Yeah, I think so. That's kind of the thing of like what Prodigy is saying is like sometimes it's much deeper than you think, and sometimes it's really not. Like you and I only know this as the rocker symbol. Mm-hmm. So if we're doing this, I'm not deeply tied into the Illuminati, you know? And I've seen...
Unless I am.
Oh, shit. This is a real deep state over here because we've been friends since, what, the 9th grade or whatever?
Yeah.
She over here rocking that rocker symbol, and I thought she was innocent the whole time. Now she's in my fucking house.
Drinking your sparkling water.
Right. Drinking my water. Who knows what she's putting in my system right now?
I'm drinking your water. I'm not putting it in your water.
I don't know how any of the Illuminati shit works, okay?
Reverse watertism. I can't.
Yeah, and so these 666 symbols and the OK symbol, I mean, it could mean bad shit or it could just...
Well, can I throw my sorority reference back out there?
Yes,
so
please.
It says another go-to is the pyramid. Just so you know, our sorority is built in the pyramid. Like everything about our sorority is based in ancient Egyptian, like mythology, I guess.
Lore and
So
stuff.
everything that we talk about has to do with the Sphinx, has to do with the pyramid, has to do with building the pyramid and those types of things. So it's funny because I think people just look back to whatever is mythical and interesting, because like they just said there, that the three sides are supposed to be symbolizing strength, because isn't the triangle is like the only shape that can't be broken because of the way that the triangle, like, I don't know. It has to do with buildings, or the way you build. It's like the strongest shape you can build into because it can't be like knocked down from any sides.
Right.
So I think it's supposed to symbolize strength. And with an eyeball, if something's always watching you, that's supposed to make you feel like oppressed again. I'm going back to the oppression thing. But
I just watched The Lord of the Rings, and Sauron.
Eye of
he's
Sauron.
up there. I see you. It's
seriously, it's super creepy.
It's creepy stuff.
And when you're honestly doing something wrong or doing I mean, like, if you want to make it like biblical, right? If you're doing something bad, which is putting on the ring, which is Sauron's ring, then he literally looks straight into your damn soul, and he's like, I see y'all.
Yeah, man, it's scary. He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He knows when you've been bad or good. So be good for goodness sake.
Santa's coming for you, bitches.
Fucking Santa, bro. You know what I'm saying?
So yeah, I mean, I think it's supposed to be scary, but it's also supposed to be freaking you out.
Yeah.
Like, you should feel unnerved.
Right. By everything. But at the same time, it's just kind of cool shit was cool, so we're going to put it in our stuff today. That's why there's a pyramid on the money, because pyramids were cool.
I mean, I just love that Barack Obama made the devil horns.
Like,
I thought that was like isn't that like the bulls too? Like, wasn't
this
the
is
horn or not the
Texas Longhorns, I think.
Longhorns?
This is their.
You're right.
Shout out to all of y'all Texans who are all in the Illuminati, I assume now. It says,
and all the Houstonians as well.
Yeah, Beyonce. Okay. The deeper you look, the more you'll find. You could go as far as to decode Blue Ivy's name. That's Beyonce's daughter. Some believe it's an acronym for "Born Living Under Evil," Illuminati's very youngest.
I don't even have anything to say to that.
So that's why I can't take any of this stuff seriously, because
Born Living Under Evil?
Illuminati's very youngest. Okay.
Who? Someone just has a lot of time on their hands.
I mean,
I thought this was cool. I'm so annoyed right now.
a year after she's born, she's not the Illuminati's very youngest, right? I mean, what is she gonna stay Illuminati's very youngest forever? She's the last one. Blue Ivy. Get it together, guys. Come on.
I'm done.
Make up smarter shit than this dumb shit. Anyway, acronym for Born Living Under Evil, Illuminati's very youngest, and that wouldn't be the most outlandish theory.
Oh, good. There's more.
It's so easy to do, and it's satisfying when you can find some symbol that seems to be hidden away, explains Brotherton. In psychology, this is referred to as confirmation bias.
For sure.
Once you start looking for it, it's incredibly easy to find, especially when the supposed symbols are fairly generic. Things like evil eyes or covered eyes, the circle around the eye, pyramids, they're everywhere. Once we find them, it's easy to incorporate them into the belief system to say, look, I found a plot.
Not to take it back to National Treasure, but I'm taking it back to National Treasure. I think that's why we get so excited about those types of movies, or like Angels and Demons, or the Da Vinci Code. You get so excited because it seems like there's something there, and it makes sense to you. It's like, it really is like you're a detective and you can figure this kind of stuff out, and there's more to it, and you're uncovering some kind of mystery.
Wait a second, I look at the back of this $10 bill, and that led me to the Treasury Building, and then I go in the Treasury Building, there's a picture of a fucking pyramid in the Treasury Building, just like on the money, even though that's where they kind of like print the money and stuff, so it makes sense that there's both those symbols in the same place. But yeah,
but it's also a conspiracy because somebody put it on the money.
Somebody put it on. Who put it on the money?
Jefferson.
Oh, right. Okay.
And you know how you like those French people, and you want to know what's crazy? I have
what
not the Leaning Tower of Pisa. I have the French place on my socks.
The Eiffel Tower?
The Eiffel Tower, see?
The Eiffel Tower.
It's all connected.
It's just another pyramid without like all the bricks, and it's not exactly the same shape.
It is a triangle, and I told you I was in the Illuminati, okay?
That's right.
Boom.
So she knows more than I. I'm not in the Illuminati, okay? I'm not. I promise
You have a triangle on your hat.
This is the Adidas symbol. Adidas.
Don't come at me with it's Adidas. It's a triangle. An A makes a triangle. There you go. See? Ooh, this is fun.
And I'm Andre. Shit.
Oh!
I'm in the Illuminati.
So your dad is the original because you're the junior.
How come I'm not getting paid more? Is the question that I'm asking. Okay, if I'm in the Illuminati, where my money at?
Maybe you are getting paid more.
Oh,
This is just...
I'm really deep state. I don't even know that I don't know that I'm in the Illuminati.
I don't even know.
Okay. Okay, let's keep going. I'm going to skip it down a little bit farther. Some theorists see specific uses of imagery as too spot on to be coincidental. In his book, Sacrifice, Magic Behind the Mic, a deep dive into hip-hop's connection to the Illuminati that investigates blood sacrifices, Isaac Weishaupt, a pseudonym inspired by the original Illuminati founder, refers to the Bohemian Grove, a California campground that hosts powerful and affluent men each year and boasts alumni like Richard Nixon and Ronald Reagan. Its mascot is a representation of the ancient Greek deity Athena, an owl, the exact one that Drake uses as his logo for his label, OVO Sound. At each Grove gathering, the men perform a ritual called the Cremation of Care, a mock sacrifice to a statue of the owl. Illuminati conspiracists put this organization in the crosshairs for idolatry and Satanism.
So Illuminati doesn't like that they're doing creepy shit?
But I mean... once again, I still don't understand whether the Illuminati is a secret group of white dudes who is using these affluent black people and hip hoppers to control the minds of all the young impressionable black people around the country, or if they're saying that Jay-Z and Drake and Beyonce and Eminem have all gathered together and they're the Illuminati who are infecting the young minds of...
I think they think that they're being used. I don't think that they think they came up with that on their own.
Right.
I don't know. I feel like...
I don't know.
But then you have... Okay, so... I don't want to take us off track, but so we have this, and the more we read about it, the more I'm feeling like not particularly... convinced anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I just wanted to be convinced. But then there is true things like the Freemasons.
Right, yes.
And there's true things like the skull, what are they called? The Skull and Bones?
Skull and
Bones Society?
Yeah, I think
George Bush was in that too.
Yeah.
Damn Bush.
This is all his fault.
I don't know, but I mean, so we know that those are real, but it's more real than this Illuminati shit.
Right. And
so maybe it's just people are just hyped up and they're trying to make anything that doesn't make sense go under the Illuminati.
Yes, I think that's what it is, or anything that they even don't understand be in the Illuminati.
Yeah,
like it's all so convenient that the reason that there's these injustices is because there's a secret society who's controlling everything, rather than it's just a part of our government that we kind of have to fight against to overcorrect for the things
hundreds
that
of years of issues.
Right. Yeah. It seems much more likely that there's just systemic issues all the way throughout our entire country, rather than just a group of like 7 dudes who are controlling everything.
Yeah, probably.
You know, in Marvel Comics, at one point, a group of superheroes forms an Illuminati. So it's like Black Panther and Doctor Strange and Iron Man and Professor X. They all like get together.
I'm kind of about that.
And they're like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. We're not gonna tell the rest of the Avengers. We're not gonna tell the X-Men. We're not gonna tell the Fantastic Four. But we're gonna get the Infinity Stones. We're gonna keep them on us, safe, where nobody can get them. No more Thanos. No none of that. And everybody shut up about it. And they're like, okay, cool. And then they get like found out, and the rest of the superheroes are mad at them and stuff like that.
No doubt.
And so it's
so that they're not a very good Illuminati either.
Right. Exactly.
So nobody's good at this.
It's that idea that like these several very specific people can get together and form an entire group, that they're going to get away with it for hundreds and hundreds of years or whatever, because they're so sneaky and smart, and they wear their hoods so correctly that, you know, it's so much more far-fetched to me, rather than just what we were saying, that the systemic oppression in the government is what causes all of your problems, or most of your problems.
No, I would say all.
All of your problems.
I mean, one of the problems is that I had a friend in my high school years who was wearing Green Lantern rings and sitting around with other Green Lanterns. I don't know. We're going to have to talk about this off air. We're going to have to get to the root of this problem, Andre. There's more that needs to be unpacked there.
This is the last time you'll ever be seeing Emily. I'm going to
I will not be invited back to this podcast.
Pull my Green Lantern ring out of its secret safe box and blast her into space.
You know what? There might not be an Andre Knows Everything episode after this, so I don't know what to tell you.
Okay.
Dougie agrees. Look, he's coming over to save me.
All right.
Like, don't mess with her.
I kind of want to see exactly what the Illuminati people are saying on the Reddit. However, it's just so freaking hard because it seems like, let's see, how many members are in this? There are 15,000 members in this group of r/Illuminati.
Which is not many, really.
But not that many people are commenting on any of this stuff or posting any of it. It's seems to be just like a couple of dudes who are like, check this video out, dog. I just want to see how long something. Okay, 26 minutes. Goodness gracious.
I need like a 3-minute.
This is 5 minutes.
I'm your host, William Cooper.
We're definitely not going to watch a whole 5 minutes. This is the beliefs of the secret societies revealed.
The history, the dogma, and the identity of the ancient mystery religions, which are now known as the mystery schools.
I almost wonder. I'm gonna stop it. I don't.
Because they were going into Knights Templar right there. At least I'm assuming based on that symbol.
I almost wonder if the people who make these videos do it specifically to make it seem like they were created a super long time ago. Like this is a found video from the 70s or whatever. Sure. And it's actually not. It was just some 16-year-old on his laptop or whatever that's just kind of good at editing. Yeah, no one's even commenting on any of these. Hello, guys. Where's the enlightenment? One comment. Illuminati explained. Unforbidden knowledge. Share your experience in the comments below after you've read the post. And then nobody commented anything. All right.
It says nice visual. That's literally what the comment was.
Nice visual. Check that out. Let's check it out. Let's see what the visual is. Unforbiddendocs.wordpress.com.
So someone's just at home making their fucking WordPress.
Okay, this is more stuff about kind of what we were just reading.
Where's the graphic?
Jay-Z and Beyonce are mentioned. The Illuminati is especially active in the music industry.
Justin Bieber?
Most popular singers have at one time or another been labeled as belonging to the Illuminati or being puppets of the Illuminati. Jay-Z, Kanye West, Rihanna, Beyonce, Lady Gaga, Justin Bieber, Michael Jackson, the Beatles have all been accused of involvement with the Illuminati. Popular celebrities are often accused of selling their souls to the devil or joining the Illuminati, whichever one. When a celebrity dies...
Wouldn't it be synonymous?
When a celebrity dies, it was invariably caused by the Illuminati. Some celebrities have decided to play on the popularity of the Illuminati and have incorporated Illuminati symbols into their work. Jay-Z has incorporated the all-seeing eye in the pyramid symbol into his Rockefeller Records marketing image. Rihanna took a tongue-in-cheek approach to Illuminati rumors by directly inserting it in her own videos.
I won't even lie. I totally would, too. If I was famous and I was, like, trying to stir up, like, just... If I wasn't working in other areas, I'd be like, oh, you want to know a secret? I can't tell you about it. Let's just show you some images that make you wonder.
I may or may not be in a secret group. I'm gonna start I'm gonna flicker a couple of like triangles throughout this video.
Please. Or we can imagine that like the Illuminati's taking over this podcast and they're like, they're getting too close to the truth.
You know, maybe we should shut this podcast down. You know, I don't think we need to talk about the Illuminati anymore. You know,
that's why I only said one sentence about the FBI. I'm just throwing it out there. I ain't putting no more information out there.
It definitely doesn't exist, and so we should just shut up about it forever. You know,
the FBI
stop asking
too.
questions. And the FBI doesn't exist. The CIA doesn't exist.
I said one thing about Trump, and I'll take it back if I need to. I know that there is no freedom of speech. I am very aware.
Reptilian overlords. This article is going off.
Ew.
The true face of the Illuminati. Okay,
where there is smoke,
let's read this.
there is fire.
The rest of this article will focus on the core of Illuminati conspiracy theory. The elements expounded below can be found in all the Illuminati theories mentioned above. For whatever disagreements various groups named above have with each other, they all agree that the Illuminati uses banks, the media, government, and even the food supply to control us and effectively rule over us.
See, this is where I was thinking we were at. Okay.
Yeah. The existence of a ruling class is not hidden from public knowledge, but the true power and influence of the 0.05% is often understated. As we will see, this is no accident. It is systematic and was designed that way. Unlike Weishaupt's order, who essentially sought the betterment of society as a whole, the modern Illuminati represent a fairly small group of individuals and families, dynasties. They form a highly organized, highly integrated, centralized power. They use overt and covert means to achieve their ends. The New England Skeptical Society for Illuminati entry states, in the paranoid mind, the Illuminati succeeded in their goals and have now infiltrated every government and every aspect of society. They are the demon in the closet and will probably never disappear from the paranoid fantasy world of right-wing conspiracy theorists. That's from skeptic.com/Illuminati. Illuminati insider Carol Quigley, who was sympathetic to what he called the Anglo-American establishment's goals, writes, "This radical right fairy tale, which is now an accepted folk myth in many groups in America, pictured the recent history of the United States in regard to domestic reform and in foreign affairs as a well-organized plot by extreme left-wing elements. This myth, like all fables, does in fact have a modicum of truth. There does exist, and has existed for a generation, an international Anglophile network which operates to some extent in the way the radical right believes the Communists act. In fact, this network, which we may identify as the Round Table groups, has no aversion to cooperating with the Communists or any other group, and frequently does so."
So it's just going to depend on what era you're from, who you are, like who the Illuminati.
Illuminati.
The Salaminati.
The Salaminati. The Ballonanati. Yeah.
Like who they are and what they're doing. Because right now, who do we not like right now?
I mean, it's Trump and the Republicans. They have to be all
So then
Illuminati.
they're the Illuminati.
You know? They gotta be.
The Cubans, the Russians. I'm sure the Germans were Illuminati at one point.
Right. I mean, it can be anyone or anything depending on what you want to be happening in the world and what you want to,
or what you
believe.
don't want happening in the
right.
world.
Yes, exactly.
Who you oppose.
Yeah. I mean, I can just say anything I don't like. My dog is barking at me right now, and it's
because he's in the Illuminati.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's like. Oh.
Dougie has a little like triangle patch of white fur, so
dude.
he was born into the Illuminati.
Okay.
He's a dynasty mutt.
You ain't sleeping in my bed tonight, dog.
We know too much. That's why he's barking.
According to this, the Illuminati would be made up of 97% male.
I would feel like 100% because women aren't even on the family tree.
But, you know, they all got wives, and wives be listening sometimes. They be mouthing off, and, you know, they in the background. 80% white Anglo-Saxon Protestant.
Is that what WASP means? I didn't know.
Yeah, white Anglo-Saxon Protestant. Average age is 60 years old.
Old as fuck.
And 99% of them are college educated, and half attended the same 12 colleges. They all know each other and accept each other's exalted position in society. They understand each other, attend the same prep schools, date each other, marry each other, and belong to the same social clubs. They all hold similar ideologies. They are an exclusive coterie of policymakers, movers, and shakers. None of them reign supreme, and they do not live in an isolated bubble. Each decision they make has repercussions in society as a whole and with other individual members of their class. They are highly integrated. They regularly make daily decisions that affect the lives of millions of people.
I feel like Jeff Epstein was in this.
Right. He was the party guy. He was like, hey.
Yeah, because ain't nobody knows where his money came from.
Right.
And ain't nobody knows what he was doing. I mean, they tried to figure it out, but they didn't really know. And so I feel like he was the one who was given just the sex for this whole thing.
As soon as somebody got hip to it.
And he didn't do it.
Right.
Ooh, did you see that Ghislaine got, is that how you say her name?
Yeah, I believe
Ghislaine?
so. Yeah, his
lady.
His girl thing.
She got arrested.
Yeah, she's getting indicted. So, you know, it's just a matter of time until she suddenly kills herself as well, you know? Unfortunately.
So pretty much I'm assuming they're right wing because it says they want free movement of capital, reduced tax for upper class, reduced welfare and social spending, deregulation of rollback government business regulations, increased military spending, systematic effort in breaking down labor unions. So they just want control and for everyone else to suffer. Sounds great. I'm cool with it.
I mean, your basic bad guy stuff, right?
I mean, Jesus. I just don't know.
Not that everyone who believes in these things is a bad guy, but I mean, you're not a great person, I don't think.
I don't know. I just don't know what to say.
All right. So what's the conclusion? Oh my God, this article goes on.
Someone
forever.
this is literally someone's blog.
Holy
okay.
Moly. It just keeps going and going. There's also a bunch of big ads in here.
No, those aren't ads, babe.
Ads.
They're talking about like big oil companies.
These are all part of it too. So okay, I mean, yeah, this is stuff
that would make sense.
That I
mean,
believe.
like,
yeah,
if someone really was in this power group, which I guess you don't have to think that hard to agree that this would probably be true. I mean, if you're going to be talking about like raising oil prices or knowing you're not going to get oil from, I don't know, the Middle East or whatever, you're going to have to make major decisions that will affect different parts of the economy. I mean, I'm sure if this is true, and which I'm pretty sure it is true, they're probably doing some crazy shuffling right now because in our current coronavirus landscape where, every economy, well, not every economy, but the United States economy for sure is just headed in this crazy downturn. What are they going to do to make sure that, the top stay on top and the bottom stay regulated?
Right. It's the what am I trying to say? The machinations of the greedy. It's just people who want more and more money and power, and they're going to do whatever it takes to keep their money and power. The only thing that doesn't make sense to me is just the thinking that it's like 10 white dudes who are all doing raccoon hands, and they're the ones controlling the entire world. That's the part of the Illuminati that I don't believe. But this thing that's like big companies are going to do whatever it takes to keep their money. That makes perfect sense. They're going to subjugate, they're going to steal, they're going to lie, they're going to cheat, they're going to do whatever it takes to stay on top. That shit's all definitely real, for sure. Walmart is not your friend, all right? They're out there to get their nut. And if you have to die for it, then so be it.
Whoa. I don't know. I was excited about this Illuminati thing. There's Disney!
Hey!
Fuck me.
Hit us right in the heart. Procter & Gamble, by far the largest TV advertiser in the United States, is able to use its dominant position to set guidelines for daytime television content. Corporations have also gained the right to lie in their advertisements, as they, too, are protected by the First Amendment. Oh, okay. Media ownership in the United States is dominated by these 6 corporations: CBS, Disney, General Electric, News Corp, Viacom, and Warner. Yeah, and then there's, just a select group of companies that own all the food, select group of companies that own this is that diagram
that's the diagram
that they showed. Yes. So Nestle owns all of this stuff. All of it. Gerber and Wonka, and P&G.
I like how Wonka's just its own thing.
P&G owns all of this stuff. They own Tide and Tampax and Braun and Pepto-Bismol.
And Charmin.
Yeah, and this is absolutely real. All these companies do own all of these other companies. And because of that, these mega corporations control a lot of the things that you consume. Because you go to the store and you buy oatmeal. And you buy Lay's potato chips, all right?
And Cheerios. Okay. I keep General Mills in fucking business, okay? I do.
Right, and it's hard to not, go try to boycott all of these companies. What are you going to be eating? Stuff out of your own garden, I guess. You're going to go out there and
you do have a salsa garden out there.
Cows and...
I thought you were going to say slaughter your own zucchini or something.
Slaughter them zucchini. Like, yeah!
They're delicious.
My little pruners. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. So this article, honestly, I mean, it's they're being quite thorough. Ooh, what's the Bilderberg Group?
Ooh, I read about them. I mean, okay, I heard about them in a conspiracy thing. So read.
Okay.
Learn us.
The Bilderbergs are led by a steering committee and hold annual closed-door meetings in various locations around the world. Attendees are chosen from the creme of the elite creme and are composed of around 65 regulars and around 50 guests. Try to reach mutual understanding amongst spy chiefs, media conglomerate leaders, high-level government officials, business leaders, and other North Atlantic elite.
So I feel like this would be the, maybe not Illuminati, but like the power makers coming together once a year.
Yes, the high class, getting their nut, as I said before. The Bilderberg Group.
This is the UN, but for real.
Yes. The Bilderberg Group's combined membership control worldwide energy supply and was instrumental in planning a unified European currency, European Common Market, and the European Union. Illuminati conspiracies all share common core beliefs. Overlooking differences and identifying our common enemy is necessary before researchers can organize into a coalition to unmask the Illuminati and begin dismantling or amending institutions and organizations that keep them empowered.
He's not a very good writer. I'm assuming it's a he because he's using run-on sentences. So I'm just going to throw it out there that his conclusion is crap. But go ahead.
The Illuminati's current modus operandi is devastating our environment, causing wars, famine, and generally improvising the world. I welcome any comment you might have on this article.
Well, there you go.
Word
that
up.
was my comment.
Power to you, dude.
Cooling of America.
Docs.wordpress.com. And he's got all these links, and I will, of course, include this link in the description.
Unforbidden
below.
knowledge.
So, I mean, what did we learn? What are we coming away with? Is the Illuminati real?
The Illuminati was real.
Word.
They were a group in the Enlightenment period, probably 1700s, right?
Yep.
And
they tried to control, in a good way, the governments of the time.
They were people who were at the height of their industry or held power.
Right.
Money, influence. But they were disbanded by
Weishaupt,
the church. They were disbanded by the church, I
committee,
think.
Yes.
And then probably people of influence continued to meet and influence.
Yes.
And
but I think a lot more disparately than the conspiracy theorists believe.
Yes.
You know, I think there's a group over here that's trying to do it, and a group over here that's trying to do it, and a group back here that's trying to do it. And they're all kind of trying to do it in very similar but also separate ways. And they're all trying to keep their own money and their own interests and their own stuff going. And once they, get together and create a united front, then we're really screwed.
Yeah.
But until then, because their greed will not allow them.
Maybe we should continue to allow them. Maybe we should stop poking holes in things and just allow them.
This is some Illuminati shit.
You would say that. It's because you're in the Illuminati, Andre.
Damn.
Adidas.
I'm not going to trust nobody from now on. Ay caramba. All right, you guys. I think that's going to be it for this episode of Andre Knows Everything. Today we learned a lot about the Illuminati and the powers that be, and how they're going to continue controlling us for the rest of our days. But until they do, until they poison you with syphilis or whatever, be sure to stick around. Follow me at Andre Morton Jr. Subscribe to the podcast on YouTube, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, everywhere you can get.
I wouldn't go for him everywhere
shows.
because you might actually, be Illuminati'd.
I might profit. You can tweet at me at Andre Morton Jr. You can follow us at the Waltwald Pod. That's our other podcast that we host. Next week we'll be talking about the Mighty Ducks, a group of not Illuminati people. And
a bunch of kids.
A bunch of kids playing hockey sticks.
Playing
Emily,
hockey sticks,
is there anything that you would like to plug, like to promote?
No. Thanks for having me on the show. I really enjoyed this. Even though I didn't enjoy our findings.
Right, yeah.
But I'm excited that I got to talk about it, and I would love to come back if there's another thing that we can Conspiracize.
Oh, word. I got a whole bunch of conspiracy theory topics that I can't wait to dive into, and those will come about in the future. Thank you guys so much for listening. This has been Andre Knows Everything. I'm Andre, and I know more today than I did yesterday. Bye.
Bye.